weight. The bar's got that swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salut and welcome. Welcome to Tuesday Thoughts, because I want to know what you're thinking about. I want your thoughts. I want your thoughts. No, not in a menacing way. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Tuesday is the day where I open it up to you guys, and you guys tell me what you want to talk about. AMA, you can ask me anything. I mean, I'm a pretty open book, so there's probably nothing that you want to ask me that I haven't, unless there's a topic that you would like my opinion about. I don't know why anyone would want my opinion, but then again, you guys are here, so, maybe. Anyway, you guys do the show today, so let me start saying hi to all of y'all. Starting with Big Al of Big Al Presents, who says, hello, Liquid Lunchers. Enjoy the show, my friends. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. Super appreciate that. Nate, who's taking it up a notch, he's getting really firm about this. He says, you will like, you will subscribe, you will comment, you will share, and you will become a member. You will be one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Maybe that's a film we need to watch during the Halloween season, because it is a bit creepy, a bit scary. The movie, of course, that I'm referring to is the movie Freaks. And if you haven't seen it, you should. It's a film that I want to say couldn't be made today, but ironically, after having watched what was that show, American Horror Story, I guess it could be made today, except they wouldn't cast actual people with disabilities that used to appear in freak shows and whatnot, they would do some sort of CG or something like that, which, especially when we're always talking about the if you're gonna play a disabled lesbian black woman, you've got to hire a disabled lesbian black woman to play that role. Okay, fine. Anyway, I digress. It's just more of the Hollywood hypocrisy, right? Netter says that I am the love of her life because she is the love of mine. I appreciate her so much. She's my number one fan. There is no the bar is so high with her, guys. It really, really is. She is amazing. Hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show. Yes, Jonathan Conroy, thank you so much for that. And saying hi to each other, which always encourages me as well. Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, Fluff Chick Productions, hail to you as well. Good to see you. And, of course, Booger. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. And Netter also says like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment, give a gifty. Did I stumble into a cult meeting? Hadn't thought about it that way. I guess it could be a cult. They always talk about the cult of personality. I don't think I have enough personality to form a cult. But if you guys want to form a cult around me, nah, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop y'all. Never want to yuck somebody's yum. Yet there has not been a single real Klingon hired to play a Klingon. I know. Mark and I are still waiting to be called by Hollywood. Not really. I don't think we would accept that call. We would stay as far away from Hollywood as possible. By that same logic, if you're going to make a movie about an alien invasion, you got to hire real aliens. That's what I've been saying too. Not to mention, it kind of flies in the face of the whole diversity concept. Everyone wants to see themselves up on the screen. Okay. Does that mean you're going to hire every single person in the audience to play themselves so they can literally see themselves? Because, I don't know, I don't really need to see a fat, bald, old Italian-American guy, huffing and puffing his way through a movie to see myself on screen, right? I am perfectly capable of seeing myself in Wonder Woman, for crying out loud. Well, maybe not, because she'd have to be serving World War II, not World War I, because that would just pull me out of it. But you guys know what I mean. It's not the skin color, the gender, the physical abilities. Because let's face it, if that's the case, nobody can see themselves in Superman. Because nobody can fly like Superman. Nobody can shoot laser beams out of their eyes, I don't know. Look, these people are nuts, right? We've already established that. They're sick in the head. They've got a thinking problem. JPRPH1 dropping the membership emojis. The Canarble Wagon, the Fedora, the logo, and the Mumbler. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I was briefly worshipped by the occupants of a mental hospital in New Jersey. Well, yeah, there is a certain amount of insanity that goes along with cult mentality, right? We're seeing that playing out in real time in the socio-political sphere these days and social media. Yes, show the love. Hit the thumbs up. Yes, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you would do that, please, please, please. And well-written characters become classic because everyone can identify with them. Look, this is why the X-Men exist. This is why Spider-Man exists. This is why, let's face it, most of those Marvel characters exist, They were written to represent the disenfranchised, right? The outcast, the nerd, the minority, right? And that's how you project yourself on them, right? You don't look at the screen or look at the comic book and see yourself in a scrawny, blue-skinned, black-eyed, alien-looking character with 3 fingers and 3 toes that can teleport, right? But you can understand being different and being persecuted because of it. You see yourself in that character, right? You know? You see yourself in E.T. trying to get home, right? You're not a literal alien from another planet with, a glowing finger, but you still see yourself in that character. If a character is well written, everyone can see something of themselves in them. And a well written story talks about timeless and universal things that everyone can relate to. That's what storytelling is. Wait, you can't shoot lasers out of your eyes? Okay, I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried. I wear contact lenses, so I don't want to ruin them. So if I was able to shoot lasers out of my eyes, I wouldn't do it because it would ruin my contact lenses. But that also implies I do not have supervision. I have substandard vision is what I really have. I mean, I guess if you want to be technical, I am a mutant. I have a genetic mutation called factor V Leiden thrombophilia. It means that I have this abnormality about the way my clotting factors work. So if I, you know how hemophiliac, they lack the ability to create clots, so they could bleed out from a small wound. It doesn't close up, right? Well, I have the opposite problem. When I start to bleed, the clot just kind of goes crazy, and I can end up with a clot that ends up floating around my circulatory system until it lodges in my heart or it lodges in my brain, and well, you know what happens then. But so I have to take therapeutic blood thinners just to manage that condition. So yes, I am a mutant. The clot. Fans want to be proverbial fly on the wall and watch a movie. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's always assuming you need to see yourself in a character. Okay, if you watch a romantic comedy, okay, generally you want to imagine yourself in the appropriate role, right? Whether that's the male lead or the female lead, depending on where you are, you want to see yourself in that role. But there are other movies, generally horror movies, right, where you're not so much looking to see yourself in that movie, maybe a little by separation. Again, like Jonathan says, you want to be the fly on the wall. You want to watch all these stupid teenagers make stupid decisions and go, if I was in that circumstance, I wouldn't do that. I would do something different. You're not seeing yourself in them. You're saying, if I was in their circumstance, but I'm not, because I don't see myself in them. I am voyeuristically observing their plight, But I believe I can fly. Well, don't leap off of any tall buildings. If you think you can fly, just do it from a standing position, okay? Don't do something dangerous, okay? Let's see, Troy. They are not laser beams. It is heat vision. He focuses solar energy that is his body into concentrated focus streams of intense heat. Yes. Actually, they get more specific in the John Byrne era, the late 80s, early 90s, when they rebooted Superman. You no longer actually saw the red beams coming out of his eyes the way you did in the Gold and Silver Age. Actually, I'm not even sure you saw them in the Golden Age. In the Silver Age, you saw the red beams. But once Byrne took over, you would see his pupils go red. And you would see the effect of the heat vision. You wouldn't actually see the beams. Reason being is what he was actually channeling through his eyes was microwaves. Yep, you don't see microwaves. And it's not, as you said, a laser beam. But you're right. It is an expenditure of the solar energy. The cells of his body act as photoreceptors, and store up that solar energy. And using his powers uses up some of that solar energy. And the heat vision uses up the most of it. If he uses his heat vision a lot, it depowers him, and he needs to recharge. They did kind of depower Superman a little bit during the Byrne era. There's ads in chat now. I'd like more feedback on that, Jonathan. What does that look like? Are you seeing ads literally come up as if it was a chat message? Like a bot or something like that? Because I'm not seeing anything like that. But then I've got a blocker, so I don't see that stuff. Let me know what's happening so I can understand it better. I have one leg longer than the other. So your nickname is Eileen, right? I knew a man with a wooden leg named Smith, to which you should, of course, answer, and what was the name of his other leg? Anyway, so what do you guys want to talk about today? What's on everybody's mind? No, the ad interrupted the flow of what you're saying. Yeah, there's nothing that I can do about that. I mean, I've been told that you can go in and say, put the ads at the end or something like that. But from what I've been understanding from other YouTubers, that's more of a suggestion to YouTube than an actual dictum. YouTube is the one in charge of the ads, and they keep 99.9% of the ad revenue as well. So it's not like it's even helping me any, for you guys to watch the ads. I don't know, guys. My thought on it would be, I don't know. Hit pause if you get well, I guess hitting pause once you get a commercial doesn't help. Guys, you block. That's all I'm going to say. 12 watching and only 7 thumbs up. Does that mean there's what, 5 people here that don't like the stream? Is that what you guys are saying? That wooden leg joke reminds me of the time I shot an elephant in my pajamas. Well, what was he doing in your pajamas? Oh gosh, there you go. Actually, that man with a wooden leg named Smith, of course, is a very old joke. It predates the first place I heard the joke, which was, of course, in Mary Poppins. But there you go. How is it Netter puts it? Old joke, new audience. I have a coworker. He's in his 20s and hasn't seen any classic movies like Back to the Future because he says not enough black people in it. The woke mind virus is poisoning our young people. Well, see, that puts you in the perfect position to say, you should watch Back to the Future and pay attention to the character of Goldie Wilson. If that's what you need to see yourself in something, then watch it for Goldie Wilson. But I think in watching it, you will find that you can relate to a lot of the other characters in it. Maybe even Biff. See, that's the way you really should be watching movies. Not for who do I feel like I most relate to, but can I relate to all the characters? And sometimes, if you can relate to the villain, you might want to do a little soul searching. You might really want to think about it. When you see a bully in a movie, does it ever convict you and make you think, man, I act like that sometimes. That's not cool. I don't like how he's treating Marty. I don't want to treat people like that. You know? I mean, if you think back to when you were in high school, I bet a lot of you did. A lot of you maybe did, right? You could try to justify it and say, well, it's because other people picked on me. Does that make it right? You learned that lesson, you know? Sometimes movies like this help. The ad covers up the chat for 15 to 30 seconds. Oh, you can't. I see what you're saying. You can't see the chat. I mean, I guess the other option is, you know, you can, when it starts back up again, you can scroll back. You can make sure that you're, oh, I just realized I'm on top chat. You don't want to be on top chat. You want to be on live chat. And you can scroll back and see what people have said and so forth. If you got to catch up on something I said, go back a little bit, and then you can play at a higher speed until it catches up. I've done that on many a live stream. You know, like I join late, so I'm watching on double speed. And then it gets to the end, and then it sounds like they're talking like this because you're so used to hearing it fast. You know, normal speed sounds slow by comparison. I am not sure I need to see myself in every movie, certainly not in every character. And that's never been what stories have been about from the beginning. I mean, they used to talk myths and legends were the stories that people handed down, you know, from generation to generation. And you weren't, they had moral tales in them that you were supposed to learn from, but you didn't see yourself in the demigod hero that went on all these adventures, nor did you think that you'd ever be like him, but you learned lessons, whether it was about your religion or your history or what morality would look like in your culture. That's all it ever was. If you're looking to see yourself in those movies, then you need to stop going to movies. You need to go out and live life and see yourself doing stuff. When you see a horror movie, do you think I could do this so much better than that Leatherface guy? Well, the first thing I think is, gosh, yeah. That would not be me, because I would not be, you know, living in a family where the family tree does not fork, out in the sticks, away from society. You know, yeah, but no, I guess I never really have, although I totally see how that could be a possibility. There is a movie I recommend for you if you're thinking along those lines. What is if I only tell you the main part of the title, you may not be able to find it. It's called Behind the Mask. Wait a minute. What is it called? Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's LeslieVernon. It's from 2006. I highly recommend that one. That is a very unique take on the slasher genre. It's essentially, it's kind of, I'm overstating it if I say it's kind of a found footage thing. It's not. Just some of the segments of it are portrayed as though they're found footage. It's told from the point of view of a documentary, an independent documentary team of like 3 or 4 kids, right? College kids. And they are interviewing a serial killer. Like a ride along. Like they are, you know, finding out what makes them tick and what it is to be a serial killer. And it starts out a little morally ambiguous to begin with. You know, it's the whole, you're doing a documentary about a serial killer and you're not intervening to stop it. There's some moral problems to begin with. But be that as it may, it sets the stage as though this Leslie Vernon, who is, you know, becoming a serial killer, exists in a world where serial killers like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers were real and not supernatural. It was part of their gimmick that they all, you know, had these theatrics that led people to believe they were supernatural and immortal and all this kind of stuff. And you kind of see it playing out in this Leslie Vernon guy and how he, you know, sets up his kills and the hows and the whys and all the things. There are some shades of like Cabin in the Woods, but, you know, I'm not saying it takes place in the same universe or it's that directly related, but this whole idea of imagining somebody who is treating his craft, which is what he's calling being a serial killer, as though he's doing a real life narrative. So it's got to tell a story as he goes and stuff, kind of the way a director would in a movie and stuff like that. It's kind of sick, kind of weird, but actually a pretty cool movie. There's a reason I identify the most with Steve Rogers, because I always hated bullies. I didn't take any stuff from him, and usually defended whoever they were picking on. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's the kind of stuff you're supposed to relate to. Not his skin color, not his background, not, you know. I mean, because otherwise, why would you bother ever watching a film set in World War II? You didn't grow up in that era, so how could you relate, right? Yes, tonight we're getting back to Blake 7. It will be the episode that I intended to do last week, which was Assassins. Yes, I've already tested it. I've figured out what was wrong on my end. It wasn't really Cosme. It was my computer and my browser. I'm blaming a Windows update for it, although I can't prove that that's what caused it. But the fact that I literally had to change a toggle on my browser that never caused a problem before tells me it's a Windows problem. Hail, JoesAtmosfere. Yo, you know the drill. Liked and shared. Hail, Midday Mixologist. Thanks so much, my friend. Thank you for being here. You're such a great supporter. So, West Virginia then. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. And I'm... Oh, okay, you guys are talking to each other. That's always good. Yes, we did watch that movie, Nate. But, you know, we end up with new audience members who may not have seen it. It was on Retro Cinema. I had recommended it. Netter hosted it one Halloween. Absolutely worth checking out. There's Mark Melnikoff. Speaking of Klingons. Mechpa! Bartender, blood wine! And make sure it's warm. Yeah. Warm because it's fresh, right? Highly recommend the documentary narrated by Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen, 1984, Terror in the Isles. Interesting. That sounds good. I may have to check that one out. That sounds good. Yeah, Servaland 2028. Well, maybe. Mark, have you ever had Blood Oath Bullion? Bourbon. Blood Oath Bourbon. It is always 98.6 proof. I love that. That's good. Let's see. And, oh, I missed Jason Fawkes from FiveFourtyStudios. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Great channel. Make sure you guys are all subscribed. It's always Windows problem. After being a gamer and PC guy since childhood, it's always some damn problem with Windows. Yeah, because you have them push these patches out to you that always screw something up. And it's like, why? The only thing you should be pushing out is whatever security fixes need to be covered. Other than that, don't touch it. Save it for the next version of Windows. But anyway, speaking of Blake 7 and what's coming up this week, let me get those promos playing. These are not commercials. These are just so I don't have to go through at the end telling you, this is what's coming up, and we're doing this, and we're doing this. I think this is more entertaining. So here you go, and I'll be back in just under 3 minutes.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together. This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, the Superfans will be presenting and discussing the first half of Dynamic 1, featuring a thought-provoking hour of original footage previously only accessible from David Lynch's paid subscription website, aiming to please not only the die-hard David Lynch completist, but also fans who didn't get the chance to check out the content of his site. This anthology is composed of hand-picked short films, each with an introduction by Lynch and a 20-minute segment with the director answering various questions from members of his website. Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
On board Scorpio, Vila intercepts a transmission from Serverland to someone called Cancer, referencing Domo the Ninth and 5 subjects. At first glance, the Federation transmission seems irrelevant. Then Scorpio's crew discover that they are the 5 subjects, and the targets of her contract with Cancer, an infallible, hired assassin. This Tuesday on Last Call presents Blake 7 at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern.
This Thursday night, it's getting a bit spooky around Netter's network as she sits down with a mysterious YouTuber you may or may not know. Netter will be discussing personal experiences with ghosts and hauntings with I Am the 13th Child this Thursday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netter's network.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, Jackie Gleason befriends Nicole, the little daughter of a prostitute, in this poignant comedy, and shows his considerable talents as an actor without uttering a word as he plays the bumbling, kind-hearted janitor, G-Go, on Netter's Network Retro Cinema this Saturday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
In a world where nearly all the entertainment is remakes, reboots, and rehashes of older properties, maybe it's worth it to get some commentary from people who experienced it all when it was novel and fresh. Catch Boomer and Pacelli on Geeky Geezers every Sunday night at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
We now return to our Liquid Lunch.
Tim, I just made 3 comments in the chat there. There are no mistypes or mistakes. I just put everything in 3 different chats so that it doesn't trigger anything. But that's what you should look up. Open up a Google tab and look up the U, the block. You can put those 2 together as one word. And origin. And go ahead and use that. I recommend using it on Firefox. It doesn't work so well with Chrome. It doesn't work at all with Chrome, really. But I never see ads on anything. On anything in my browser. I see the ads that block the chat, but you can easily be X'd out. Okay. Yeah, so you can a lot of these ads you can skip and stuff like that. You got an ad for ED, huh? I mean, you'd think there's plenty of other things on the internet that should be able to help you out with that, and you don't need to take a pill, but whatever. Yeah, yeah, you could be easily X'd out. Boom. Welcome, Joe. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. Anyway, getting back to it, the one thing that I didn't cover in my promos, because I still have not yet put together a promo for my flagship show, Last Call with Troy Pacelli, every Friday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. This week is just going to be a sit down and chat and drink with Culture Casino. So those of you Culturians that are here, make sure you come on Friday and let Culture know, hey, you're right, Troy is a pretty cool guy. Remember Bob from Enzite? He had a pep in his step. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, it was always the joke ever since those ED pills first came on the market. It was like, teenage boys are but then you start looking into what they actually do, and it's like, you know what? After a certain age, all the commercials always say, talk to your doctor, see if you're physically fit and safe to engage in adult activities. And it's like, yeah, because that stuff directly affects your blood pressure, and you could literally have a heart attack or a stroke. The whole joke about the young girl and the sugar daddy, and he dies during. It's like, it's probably because he took one of those blue pills. But, girly, if you want to, feel good about yourself and think you got him that excited, well, then you just enjoy that feeling, I guess. Yeah. Bob was from the series of commercials. No, I remember that. I remember Bob. And, in fact, to the point that Big Al even drops a link to it so that you can remember it. They are... simple vasodilators, but you can't take them if you're on other cardiac meds. Absolutely right. That's absolutely true. And here's the thing, and this is kind of the paradox of ED medications. The people who should not be taking them, right, are the ones that need them. That's the problem. Because when you get down to why is the erectile dysfunction happening, it's usually because of a blood pressure situation. Maybe it's obesity. What's that called? The sugar thing, diabetes. So those same people that shouldn't be taking it are the ones that are tempted to take it. So you, instead of prescribing the blue pill, your doctor should be saying, well, you want to get it up? Maybe lose some weight. Maybe do some exercise. I'm just saying, because you could. I could prescribe you this blue pill, and maybe you get it up and you have fun for one night, and then you have a stroke and die. So is it worth it? Is it really worth it? What do they say? Maybe abstain today and live to screw another day. Just, something like that. They should say something like that. The only way to go. Yeah. What's that line from Tyrion? I want to die, of old age in bed. I don't, drunk and doing something with a girl. I don't remember what the exact line is. We had someone in my city die because he took his blue pill, then had chest pains. in a certain type of parlor and took his nitro pill. Yep. Interactions. Yeah. You have to understand drug interactions as well and understand what is causing the pain, what vasodilators are. Yeah, it's it's ridiculous. If it lasts for more than 4 hours, brag to your friends on how long you can keep it up. No. Priapism is very, very serious. They actually underplay how serious it is when they say when they say something about having an erection lasting for more than 4 hours, get to the emergency room immediately, because gangrene will set in and you will lose it and you will die. So losing it is hardly the worst part about it, but but you will die happy with a smile on your face. No, you won't. You'll actually die in pain. It actually becomes painful. I remember the commercials about, well, see, marketing did their job. They got you to remember their product. I was using Google to find pics of Servalan and found a site called Mistress Servalan. She's a real-life dominatrix. Yes, I know you shared that social media link, and I was like, well, in one of those pictures, she actually did look like Servalan. She had that short cropped hair, which is probably why she chose that name, I would assume. Since Klingons have 2 of something, does that mean we take 2 of those blue pills? Well, a Klingon wouldn't need to take those pills, right? Priapism is also a symptom of CNS and spinal injuries. I didn't realize, but now that I think about it, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, there's actually a lot of things that can cause priapism. It's just a very more common thing from the blue pill, so you got to be careful. I want to die in bed of old age with my belly full and my cock empty. I don't think that was the exact line, but it was something very similar to that. Yes. In my own bed with my belly full of wine and a maiden's mouth around my, at the age of 80. That was the line. Yes, thank you, Big Al. That was the line. I know the 4-hour stuff is bad. It's from an old SNL commercial. Okay. Oh, and some of those commercials were really, really good. And the time and the smile on your face was from the person who died the next day. There you go. That's the other thing too. I've talked about that book, Batman Resurrection. Very good book. If you're a Batman 89 fan, definitely worth checking out. They get a little bit more into the backstory of Smilex and where it came from and whatnot. And what's really creepy about it is the author gets almost Michael Crichton in the way that he writes this. He clearly researched neurotoxins and whatnot, and the way certain nerve gases work and so forth, as he was thinking through the fictional Smilex, and made it sound way, way plausible. This idea of, something that causes your muscles to tighten up and pull into a death smile. But obviously it looks like he died laughing, which sounds good until you realize that kind of muscle tightening hurts. So they probably died in agony, But that's fun to talk about. But I am eventually going to be doing another Batman 89 stream once I finish the Batman 89 comic. And in the next month or two, Batman Echo, which is a sequel to Batman 89, is... and when I say Batman 89 in this context, I mean the comic book series, not specifically the Batman 89 movie, although it's related. So Batman Echo and Batman, I think the novel is called like Resurgence or something like that. Something that starts with an R, I can't remember. Where the Riddler is the main villain. I'm really enjoying revisiting the Batman 89 universe. And what it would have been like if it had continued not going into the Joel Schumacher Batman, but if it had stayed in that Tim Burton, not necessarily with Tim Burton involved in it, but keeping those characters in that setting, just really, really could have been really, really good. Yes. Well, that's what I was talking about, Jonathan. You know, the Smilex. If you gotta go, go with a smile. Exactly. But yeah. Well, unless you guys have something more for me, that's because again, Tuesday is up to you guys. Whatever you guys feel like talking about. I got to start thinking through what the members movie could be for next week. Last night was F1, which was way better than it had any business being. So next week, the 29th, it's the penultimate day of the month. September's coming to an end. We're going into October already. My gosh. Let me think. I mean, I think it's probably time that we start getting into the scary movies and start doing the October stuff. So maybe I should throw up a list of scary films. See what people want to see. I don't want to do something that we've done a lot of. Between me and Al and a lot of y'all, we've done Friday the 13th. We've done Halloween. You know, I'm not sure I really want to dig back into Nightmare on Elm Street. I've done Hellraiser a lot on my channel, so not sure that we want to get into that again. But I don't know. Something to think about. That's not a bad idea. Baseball for early October? That's a great idea. We've done Field of Dreams pretty recently. What other baseball movies are there? Some of the League of Their Own? Even though it stars a bunch of people I can't stand anymore. What is it? Let Us Pray. It's a Scottish-made horror film with most of it taking place in a police station. It's good. Scottish horror film taking place in a police station. I'm sorry, man. I'm missing the context there. Oh, Bull Durham. When that one first came out, I memorized every word of dialogue from that movie. Yeah. Oh my. Just oh my. Pride of the Yankees. Oh, The Natural. That's a great one. You know what? I better start writing these down. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. Let me get these. Where's my pen? Yes, I do this old-fashioned. So, The Natural. Bull Durham. Pride of the Yankees. Major League. Okay. I'm suggesting a horror movie. Oh, the name of the movie is Let Us Pray. I'll look into that one. I will look into that one. But, okay, I got a good list of baseball movies, and I will put them together for, the Bad News Bears. That one's a little bit of a throwback. I do like that one, too. All right, I think that's enough. I will put together a poll for the members right after the stream, actually, and we'll get it planned out for next Monday. If you're not a member and you would like to join us for that movie, and have a vote in which movie we do end up watching, how about you just become a member for as little as $2 a month? It's actually less than $2 a month. It's $1.99. So maybe considering that. Oh, yeah. Ronald Reagan has Grover Cleveland Alexander in the winning team. I think one of these days I'm going to do Newt Rock Me All-American. We got to do that one sometime. Absolutely. That one needs to happen. That one and Brian's song. That's another. But now we're getting into football. We'll save that until later season. But anyway. So that is the end of the baseball season, I think, is what they were getting at, Nate. So that is, I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. So, guys, I want to thank you so much. The next thing coming up, of course, is live from Sparkwood in 21. I've already got an hour's worth of Dynamic 01 David Lynch shorts. The shorts are, avant-garde, David Lynch type shorts, but not quite as far out there as like Dumbland, or, anything like that. And I think the big draw here is the commentary by David Lynch himself. So I think that is the big draw. So that's tonight at 7:30-ish Central. I got to say that because Deleted Scenes has his super secret movie review that oftentimes runs over. But and then after that, we will then be migrating over to my channel for Blake 7, and that is. Why am I dubbed? Because I don't speak Japanese? I don't know. What is sodium? It's an element. Most people use it as shorthand when what they actually mean is sodium chloride, which is salt, but sodium is actually a whole separate element, and chlorine is a separate one, and you put the two together, and you could end up with some very, very dangerous things, or you could end up with table salt. But anyway, that's all I've got for tonight. So you guys take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sharing your lunch with me. And yeah, that's it, guys. Salute. See you on the next one. Take care.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high